Hey, folks, this is Brian Blessing. Hope you're enjoying the Hockey Betting Podcast. We have a couple chuckles, try to get you a lot of winners. If you like what you're hearing, hit the subscribe button, give us a review, give us a rating. Most importantly, enjoy the hockey and keep coming back to the Hockey Betting Podcast.
You're listening to the Hockey Betting Podcast, presented by BetChrisCanada.net. This is the Hockey Betting Preview for the weekend. Friday, February 21st, Saturday, February 22nd, Sunday, February 23rd, and Monday, February 24th, 2020. And now, live from Las Vegas, the host of the Hockey Betting Podcast, Brian Blessing.
All right, big boy hockey. It's the weekend. It's a big boy podcast. It's the Hockey Betting Podcast. It's a trifecta of fun. 3 for the price of the one. We're going to go Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Brian Blessing in Las Vegas. Cam Stewart, he's in Mississauga. We're rocking and rolling. Want to thank you all for listening. Hope you're cashing some tickets. And the NHL trade deadline is Monday. Even Gretzky got traded, but Cam, you're an untouchable for many reasons. More reasons than one.
Thank you, Brian. Hey, thanks, buddy. You know, it was nice. I was watching that Vegas game last night. You couldn't ask for a better debut for Martinez. The guy's blocking shots, scoring a goal. They were absolutely stellar in that game. In the third period, they just stomped all over Tampa. It was a good night, Brian. Yeah. I was actually checking the tickets.
That's great.
New Jersey won, and I'll tell you, the best angle, we talk about dad's trips, road trips, whatever. I have a very simple angle, even simpler. When a team gets embarrassed by another team in a back-to-back situation, come back to them. And, Brian, I thought I was done with the Leafs. I ripped them, but I just felt it that day. Players-only meeting. They talked about if we can't win this game and dominate, and they played their best game of the season, smoking Pittsburgh 4-0, and I was on, and I'm glad I didn't get off it. The team's upset me the whole year, but that was a great performance.
No, it was. I was trying to turn a page and move on. Yesterday, the tail end of my radio show in Vegas, at the tail end, I said, oh, by the way, just throwing this out there, guys, it happens all the time. Guy has a baby. It's his birthday. A guy gets traded, and he only has a goal this year. I said on the show yesterday, I said, Alec Martinez will score tonight.
Nice.
I said, it just happened. Oh, no. Nice. Yeah. You know how nice it was? I threw a couple of potatoes, just a couple bucks, on Alec Martinez at 80-1 to score the
80-1.
Hold on, son, Lafin, you never let me finish. 80-1 to score the first goal of the game.
Oh,
and Tampa Bay scored first, then Martinez scored. So I'm scratching myself. I got nothing.
No, I'll give you credit, but see, this is instead of Brian Blessing, BB, you should be GG, Gary Greed. Just take him to score a damn goal in the game.
That's Cam. Yeah. If it was offered, I'd have bet it.
Oh, they only offer
the only
first
index
goal?
It was there was the first goal of the game, and he was 80. You know what? If it was would he score a goal, it still should have been 20-1.
Exactly. Hey man, I got to give you credit. No. Guy played his ass off. He looked fantastic in that game, and you're right, man. He was fired up, blocking shots, doing everything, and I think it's going to be a real nice addition for Vegas. I really like that move for them. It's kind of going to go under the radar, but this team looks absolutely lethal right now.
Yeah, and I don't think they're done, buddy. By the way, they're not little done. Programming note, we'll let you all know because Monday is the trade deadline, and there's only the one game. Oh, by the way, I misspoke. We're actually going to do Monday today. So in this podcast, there's a single game Monday. Monday's the trade deadline. It would be foolish of us to do the podcast on Monday because if the thing implodes and there's deals all over the place, we'd be sitting there talking about stuff that was outdated. So next week we'll be dealing with Tuesday. That'll be our big return, but we'll know what happened after the deadline. Make sense?
You're right. Yeah, totally. See, Brian, everyone, you say we're two half-wits makes one wit, and we're a bunch of turkeys, but see, that's smart thinking.
There you go, my friend. You know what makes sense? Let's dive in here. Let's start making some cake here on a Friday night. I got the pen out. By the way, did you see on Twitter the one guy put a thing out with you with the sausage links?
Oh yeah, that's my guy, Jesse Lapine. Come see the butcher, and I'm just covered. I got like a sausage links, like a towel around my neck. Great gif. Yeah, he's the
that
best.
was awesome. Honestly.
Oh, this guy does stuff for me and Gabe all the time. Like he puts us in like as coaches. Though, no, he's the king of that stuff, Brian. I'll tell him. Now you know you're in the Hall of Fame. I'll get him to do one for you. It's going to be great. This guy's great. Great fan of the program.
Well, let me just tell you, just to give you a smile and a little motivation here as we're starting on the gauntlet of all this hockey we're going to talk about. If this sports thing doesn't ever work out for you, let me tell you something, buddy. You look the part. I think you could be the Butcher King of Toronto.
Oh, yeah. No, I could be a butcher.
Open up a meat shop.
Yep. Cam's Grand Salami. Come on in. I'm with you, Brian, and I've worked in a lot of kitchens in my life too, so I actually have experience.
Oh no, I got it for you. I'm the idea guy. You ready?
Yep.
Cam's Cuts.
Very simple and effective. I like Cam's Cuts. Yes, Brian. Very good. Cam's Cuts. I love it. That's great.
All right.
You're right. I should have a butcher business on the side. Well, I could open up a butcher shop if we make money, so let's roll.
And watch this professional segue. There's a lot of meat on the bone in the hockey. There you go. He's salivating. Let's go. Oh, boy. Detroit's in the Islanders. Yeah. Islanders laying 3 potatoes, 5.5 to the under.
3 potatoes. I love it. Three potatoes. Yeah, no, it's a lot of potatoes, Brian, but I will say this. This Islanders team scored 1 goal in their last 4 games, is it now? So I got to tell you something. This is a bad situation for the Red Wings. I know the Islanders have been traveling. I'm not going to lay 305. If you do play this game, you play it. I'm not betting Detroit. I would take the Islanders -1.5 to even money, or I'd take them alternate line. I think they take these guys out to the woodshed tonight. They have to do something. This is a desperate team, and they got to find a scoring touch. I think the Islanders win like 5-1. I'm not saying I'm going to play it for large. It's not my favorite game on the card, but I got to believe they take care of business against the Red Wings.
With all sincerity, I'm with sincerity, and I don't have very many sincere bones in my body. I love you, bud. All right. I think you love me back a little, right? A little bit.
I do.
All right. As one of your dear friends, danger, Will Smith, danger. It's their
danger.
First game home from Nashville, Vegas, Arizona, Colorado. Just throwing.
You're right.
You're right. Throwing it out there.
So I know. You know me. I play a lot more games. Pass is probably the best way to approach this game.
Maybe the offense gets right at home. But Bernier's been playing good.
He has. Detroit's awful, but their goaltending, other than Jimmy Howard, you're right, Bernier has been sharp, and they hang him out to dry all the time.
All right, let's, we spent a lot of time on those 2 teams. Yikes. Let's go to the Rangers in Carolina. Carolina's $1.60. I'm seeing a mixed bag here, bud. 6 over at a lot of places, 6.5 under at some. The crazy thing is, the only thing I would warn you about with the Rangers this weekend is, Kreider, do they take him out? Do they play him? Do they, you know what I mean? Is he in play? Are they trying?
I don't think it's going to happen tonight. I think he plays tonight. And I'll tell you one thing about the Rangers, they're scoring goals and they're giving up goals. That game versus Chicago looked like a nut under, as you say, Brian. And what happened? 7 or 8, I think maybe 8 goals in the third period. I'll tell you this. I don't like the 6.5, but if it's 6 flat, I think you got to play the over.
Reimer.
As for the Rangers,
it's Reimer, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Our boy James Reimer. I know James Reimer really well. Yeah, former Leaf tender, Panther tender. I'll tell you, the Rangers are also a great road dog for guys. If you don't bet hockey, they're a horrible home favorite and an awesome road dog. They did it again to beating Chicago. I think I got to take. I would look at the Rangers in the spot, but I like the over more.
Hey, Cammy, I think I'm with you a bit here, bud, but let me on the Rangers a little bit. Let me just tell you why. They both want to win, but you look at the Rangers, they're 7-3 in their last 10. Kind of got their act together, but Carolina is the 8th seed at the moment. Rangers are only 6 back. Yeah, they both want to win, but you got to sit here and say the Rangers are going, it's kind of our season here. I mean, this is a monster. I mean, this is a 4-point game.
I think the Rangers are also underrated. When they bring it hard. Carolina's a good team, but, I think a lot of the time when I watch them, they're a team with a lot of puck luck. I know that sounds pretty basic, but it's true. I think Carolina's okay, but I don't think they're as good as people think they are. The Rangers are live. I worry, though, because the game is in Carolina. I like the total more than anything, Brian. Carolina will be able to score, and the Rangers will be able to score on them. I'm expecting like a 4-3, 5-4 type of game. I see lots of goals in this spot, and the Rangers, As you said, they play to the over, especially recently. So I like the over and a lean to the pooch.
All right. Chicago is hosting the Preds. The Preds are -0.25. I'll just throw this at you. And then I know you've got a first blush opinion. But again, when I'm warning you about the Islanders coming home, now the Blackhawks had driven off a cliff, but the Blackhawks come home from their 5-game Western swing and get demolished by the Rangers 6-3. I swear to you, that's I do another podcast with our buddy Adam Burke, and he had some guy who hears me talk about this, and the guy goes, oh, yeah, the numbers aren't that stupefying. And I'm going, well, the guy looked it up. I mean, I'll take his word for it, but there's only one time I can remember a team coming home since we started doing this. I mean this. Since we started doing this year, the only time I can remember a team winning a game coming home from that 4-game plus road trip was Colorado beat somebody horrific. Was it Ottawa?
I think it was Ottawa.
3-0. That's the only one I can remember that bucked that trend. And remember, I said, I'm playing it. I don't care. Plus 270.
Yeah. Well, look at last night. Look at Washington. They lost to Montreal.
There you go.
Oh, and that was a must-win game.
All right. So
they lost to Montreal. The line told you something. It dipped from $2 to $1.82 by game time. Right. The line tells you something. Again, but I love Nashville anyway. You don't have to sell me.
No,
give me the Predators.
No.
What are you talking
about? This is
okay.
You're drooling on yourself here. They come home from the 5-game road trip, and the Rangers destroy them 6-3.
So it's both angles,
okay,
right?
No, so they lost. They came home. They were losing anyway. But they come home. I'm going, it's just what you were talking about. Not the home and home, but when a team's embarrassed and gets pumped, now Chicago's back home. They're settled in. I mean, if they're going to win a game the rest of the season, isn't it this game? Doesn't Chicago say, come on, guys, we got to get our head out of our ass?
The thing is, I usually would go and play that angle, Brian, but I'm really not sure about the Blackhawks the way they're playing. They've been very bad. And you talked about Nashville. They're getting better. Nashville looks like a team that's really focused in the second half. That's why I'm just not going to run to the window with Chicago. I get it. And we gamble and we see weird lines. It seems like a short price for the Predators. But I also know that they're playing damn good hockey, and they know they can go into Chicago, win that game, and I only got to lay 20 cents a quarter. Sounds pretty good to me. I'm not going to say I'm betting it yet, but I have a lean to the Nashville Predators.
All right, I don't blame. I just red flag city. I just think.
No, you're right. I had a great night last night. I won every single game on the ice but one. But Florida, and I hedged out of the game because I started to feel. That's the thing. We've watched enough hockey, Brian. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And when Florida tied it up and I got a good line on the Kings, I'm like, I'm out. Because I knew after that, I go, the line's weird. I fell into the trap.
Did you see the goal Bobrovsky let in?
Bobrovsky's horrible. I told you, I'm the president of the Bob Stinks Club. He's horrible. And Florida, their team, you want to talk about the Leafs being gutless? Florida's at the top of the list. They're worse than Toronto. They are phony. They're horrible. Anyway, you lose to the Kings when you need to win a game. You don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Pretty simple.
The Geico commercial with Pete Nokia.
Yeah. You guys look like you have unlimited potential.
All right, yeah.
I agree. You guys are going to be great sales guys. Yeah, no, not so much. I'm with you. Boo, Panthers. I told you, the Panthers are pussycats. They're the type of they get lost in the tree. They're not a Panther.
They could get Bob to beat Pete Nokia. I swear, I thought I was going to stop that one.
We're such idiots, but we're right. The Panthers are fake. They're not a tough. They're not a sharp. They don't have sharp teeth and a mean cat. I go up to the Panther and pet him. I'm not afraid. Yeah. Anyway, Brian, next game I do have an opinion.
Go for it, Dallas. $1.35, 5.5 to the under.
This is the game, buddy. The Blues have been hanging on by a thread. Yep. Lucky wins. Arizona should have won the other game. They sold out Ranto. Actually,
you're going to play the Marco Scandella factor. Jeez, are you kidding me?
Damn right I am. I'm only laying 40 cents with Dallas. This is the game. Dallas, and these teams don't like each other, too. Also, the team that knocked them out of the playoffs when Dallas had potentially a chance to go to the Stanley Cup. All angles point Dallas. It's 40 cents. I'm betting it now because I don't want that line to go up. Maybe they might get Blues money because people are like, hey, the Blues are being disrespected. This is Dallas for me, Brian. I'm in on the Stars.
All right. Actually, we made a mistake. We were unfair to Bobrovsky. The Blues pick up Scandella. The guy that should be Pete Nokia is Jason Botterill. He traded.
I thought that guy was smart a long time ago. I really changed my opinion.
He trades Scandella, who plays for a month with Montreal for a 4th-round pick, and then the Canadians turn around and get a 2nd and a 4th for Scandella. I mean, I know they need a body back there, but I mean, when Scandella's on the ice, all that technology, and go all the way back to the days of Peter Puck, and now they're going to do the glow puck. When the puck comes near Scandella, it should glow because he treats it like it's freaking radioactive.
Here's the thing. Why would a team give a 2nd and 4th for Scandella when you can go just call up a guy from the AHL who's better? It makes no sense to me. The Sabres do it all the time. I know their defense is bad, but they can call up Hall or any of these guys. Like Marco Scandella is not an NHL defenseman. Well, it's very simple.
The Sabres,
you're giving away draft
picks.
Watch
what happens. They waived Bogosian, who's not going to report to Rochester, and they're letting him get away with it. And he's going to become a free agent any minute now. And they'd be better off picking him up off the street than Scandella.
I agree. I think Zach Bogosian's better than Scandella. But anyway, You're right. Botterill, I used to think he was smart, but that ship has sailed. Next.
All right. I do like this game. I had the under. Did we did talk about
our unders have been hot lately, Brian. I'm turning into Tom totals. Remember I told you about Edmonton the night against Boston? Under, man. I've been riding these unders, buddy, with Edmonton. It's been great.
Okay. I guess that's what I was going to say.
Sorry.
I was going to say.
Mike told me not to say anything, but I'm just kind of just giving you how I feel.
I love how, no, I can't rein. Anyway, you're a wild stallion. That's why we love
no, the problem is I got sugar withdrawal. Like I get really hyper for a while, then I fall asleep.
You drove the point home. That's all that matters is the results. You drove the point home that we said Edmonton and Boston. We did this on the podcast of all games, right? Loved the under in that game. No McDavid, they're back home, and it was a nut under. Now Boston's going to Calgary, and I don't know. I get it. You got Rask, you got Halak, doesn't matter. You got a great goalie. But now they're going to Calgary, and they make this total 5. It's bet up to 5.5 over. I got news for you. It ain't nowhere near high. This game's going over. I think this is a high-scoring game.
I agree.
And I think they overreacted to one stupid game.
They did. And I also, Brian, I have an opinion on the side of this game. Calgary will be played tonight. Boston's been good. Edmonton played them tough. They lost in overtime. I think Calgary, I know they're flaky. I know they're wishy-washy. But Boston, this is the type of game on the road trip where I think the legs are going to be in quicksand. I think Calgary has been waiting. They understand how good Boston is. They're going to get their best effort today. I worry about the Calgary Tenders, but you're right. I'm doing the 2-step in this game. I like the over. I wish we got it at 5, but it's 5.5. I'll still take the over, and I'll take the home team getting 15 cents. And if you like Calgary, wait a bit. I think people will push this line for Boston because they're a public team, probably up to 50 cents, and I'll get a better number on the push.
All right, my God, Cam, look at this. I mean, look at the overreaction. It's a correlated parlay. Look at the next game. The next game's Minnesota at Edmonton. They open at 6. They bet it down to 5.5 because of the same game we're just talking about. This one's going over, too. Minnesota.
I love that over 5.5. I agree with you. I'm taking
the card.
I'm with you. Like I'm taking both Alberta teams and overs. I like both home teams. Give me Calgary plus 115. Give me Edmonton minus 115, and give me double over 5.5 in both of these games, Brian. I think we can go 3 and a 4, or maybe sweep on these two games.
I liked it so much. I'll root for you. I'll root for you on the sides. But I am just hooking those two games up together in a parlay. I'm going Boston, Calgary over, Minnesota, Edmonton over. Have a nice day. I'm not even going to make, one's the play. I like the two. I like both of them coming out of the same game for the same reason. I'm hooking those two up in an over parlay. That's all there is to it.
McDavid, and also, Brian, McDavid could play tonight. By the time of taping, we don't know.
Oh,
they said he could be going on Friday, and they've been playing good without him, but adding him too, and the way the team's been playing. Minnesota got lucky to beat Vancouver in a shootout there. I love Edmonton laying 15 cents.
All right. Wrap it up. Colorado and Anaheim. Colorado $1.66. There is a 5.5 out there. You know what? I'm telling you, buddy, This Anaheim team, one night to the next, it's a gong show. It's bizarre.
I like the under in this game. Colorado hasn't been giving up goals because they're tightening up with Francouz there. I've been good with these unders,
He's
Brian. I'm better with unders than overs. I'll tell you something. Colorado will win like a 3-1 type of game tonight. That's what I believe. It's 6. I lean under in this spot. I think Colorado wins the game. I don't really want to lay 60 cents. I'll put it in parlays, but I like the under. You've seen them recently. 2-1 versus the Kings. The last game they won. They beat the Islanders. What was it? 3-0. That Colorado has been playing really tight defensive hockey and winning tight games. Why buck the trend? Give me the under 6 goals in this game. I don't think Anaheim gets more than 2. And they get 1 in this game. And I think Colorado, even if they get 4, it stays on the number. At 5-1's a push. Give me the under. Keep digging, Brian.
I'll tell you what. I think you deserve a brief timeout. A brief timeout. That's Friday. We're going to come back. We're diving into the weekend next on the Hockey Betting Podcast. We'd like to thank BetChrisCanada.net for their support of the Hockey Betting Podcast. I'm Brian Blessing in sunny Las Vegas.
And I'm Cam Stewart in cold Toronto, Canada.
If you love hockey and you're in Canada, and Cam is, look for a BetChris near your next holiday destination.
BetChris offers the best value odds on Canadian and international sports. Use the promo code PODCAST when you open up your account at a BetChris location.
So, if you're planning a trip to exotic locations from the Caribbean and Mexico to Peru and almost everywhere in between, the odds are very good. There's a BetChris Sportsbook where you're going on holiday. For more information about visiting a BetChris location while you're on holiday, visit BetChrisCanada.net. That's BetChrisCanada.net. Use the promo code PODCAST. All right, back with you here on the Hockey Betting Podcast. Away we go. We're going to dive into the weekend and a full slate of games on a Saturday. Brian Blessing and Cam Stewart having a lot of fun doing this. Let me just ask you before we dive into the game specifically, are you fearful at all that there are potential quirky results with the trade deadline looming Monday? More than anything, it may be a team or two, like maybe a Kreider, holding guys out, or are some guys out there wearing a diaper, worried about getting traded? I don't know. Or are we just it's hockey and let's just get on with it?
It's hockey. In other sports, I would say, hockey's just one of those sports. These guys show up regardless. I did like the fact that San Jose, it was kind of an angle for me with New Jersey, with Dylan going to Washington. That's a guy that was a Shark for a long period of time, and you could tell, and the team only scored 1 goal against the Devils. Like that one, I kind of thought, I think they're going to be upset because he looked like a well-liked guy on the team. But really, Brian, hockey players, they're tough dudes. They adapt pretty quickly. So I don't think I'm going to factor it in anybody. And if you're a guy on the trade block, you want to play your ass off to hopefully, just show people how good you are. Some of these guys actually wouldn't even mind. I know most players want to stay where they are, but some guys, if you're a single guy without a family and you go to a contender, that could be a good move for your life. So I think they bring it. I really don't think about it too much.
All right, let's jumpstart the weekend, and I think I'm going to jump into the deep end of the pool. I'll be going off the 10-meter platform. It'd be one of these. It'd be a 9, a 9, a 9, and a 4 from the Russian judge.
Yeah, Russian judge. Yeah. Okay, keep diving, buddy. Where are you going?
I'm going puck line with Washington all day long. Washington's 210 at Jersey for a number of reasons. We talked about this, that I think the Ovechkin milestone has actually hurt the Caps, that they're working so hard to set him up. And he got 1. So he's sitting on the milestone. When this guy gets his 700th goal, and you're sitting there, goalies all around the league, you're looking at the schedule, right? Is it Blackwood going, oh, no, I'm going to be the guy that gets posterized for life, all right? They're going to show the highlight forever. But when he gets it, he's going to get 3. They're going to go bananas, and they've lost 3. I think you got to go puck line here with Washington. They're a 210 favorite. Let me just double check, and you're still laying up probably 30 cents on the puck line, but I like it.
I do too. I think it's a good spot. Washington, that Montreal line was fishy for a reason. Vegas and Jersey, they know what's going on, man. They reeled in a lot of suckers last night. They put the worm on the hook, Brian, and people bit. But this time, Washington understands what they need to do. Devils were unimpressive, but still beat San Jose. Washington's gonna be foaming at the mouth like a dog with rabies, and I could see them beating the Devils like 6-2, 6-3 in this game. The total's high. I probably think it gets there, but I'm more like the side like you. Give me Washington on the puck line. It'll be in all sorts of parlays as well.
Winnipeg and Philly. Philly's $1.36. Matinee game, 6.5 to the over. Something about those Philly matinee games, out of conference game, I like over.
Yeah, I like the over, and I also have a lean to the Flyers. Winnipeg gave up the first goal against Ottawa and looked good. You like what Maurice said about DeMello? It was coach's porn, he said, Brian. So happy with the performance of the player that they picked up. I'll tell you something. Don't go against Philly. You want to talk about a team that is the opposite of gutless? They were down on Columbus. They rallied, tied up the game, and won in overtime. Hey, Winnipeg, you're going to run into a buzzsaw. This Philadelphia team's got a bounce in their step. I think Philly gets it done, and the game goes over the number.
You know this guy in Ottawa on Twitter, this Brian 5 or 6, you ever seen this character?
No, I don't know him.
He's a nut bar. He's hilarious. He's a diehard Senators fan. I mean, no, literally.
Gotta love diehard Senators fan. I got respect for every diehard Senators fan. That's a tough franchise to stay with.
He's so funny. He does these videos. What's his name? Benjamin Brian Milks. Brian 5 or 6 on Twitter. Let's throw it out there. You want to chuckle?
Oh, is he the guy who does the rhyming with the names? He
just does like selfie videos, but he's out of his mind, but he's really funny and he's happy. He's just, it makes you laugh. He was playing basically Russian roulette with 5 bullets the other day when they only got a 3rd round pick for DeMello. Just throw this guy a shout out. He makes me laugh. I like Ottawa's gonna, but I tell you, when that day comes, Cam, they got this year. They've got 2 lottery picks, 3 seconds and 3/3. I mean, Ottawa's going to be this beast in 2 years.
Oh, I agree. I wish we could do futures on top of futures, because in 3-4 years, this team could win the Stanley Cup if any of their young stars, pan out. Brian, I'm with you. People laugh at this team. They've been competitive this year. They're supposed to be dead last. Hey, they didn't show up against Winnipeg in the second half. It's going to happen. Their goaltending needs improvement. But they have a lot of good young players. You talk about it. Thomas Chabot's one of the best blue liners in the league. He's going to be a Senator for life. They got the problem with Ottawa. They got to keep their stars around. But I'm with you. 3-4 years, this team's going to be lethal.
Pittsburgh's laying 235 to the Sabres, the total 6.
They're going to murder them.
Well, yeah, no, it's so ridiculous that every time they win 3 in a row, then they go to Ottawa and the Leafs, and they take the ice in Ottawa when the Leafs are getting mauled by Pittsburgh. And they score 2 goals, have a 2-goal lead, give up 4 goals in 3 minutes. It's unbelievable. You know what? I'm with you, but it is literally the trade deadline is Monday. And are they trading Ristolainen? They say Sheary's name's out there. A lot of these guys, are they playing hard to get traded? I like the over. I mean, how do you trust Hutton? If the Olmark's skating again, you don't trust him. I think I trust the over.
I trust Pittsburgh on the puck line. I have a lean to the over.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, they should be able to get it done, Brian. I agree with you. And Pittsburgh's going to be, and hey, bad news for Buffalo after that Leafs game. Pittsburgh's going to be quite angry, not scoring a goal with Crosby and the likes of the snipers that they have on their team. Sorry, Buffalo, you could be in big trouble. Pittsburgh can win this game by like 4 goals.
All right, here's an interesting one, my good friend.
This is very interesting.
Toronto's laying $1.40. Oh, everybody, the Leafs beat the Penguins. Isn't that awesome? The Leafs are back. There's still a fire drill in their own end of the rink, and Carolina's playing back-to-back nights, and everybody's going to sit there and go, it is. Everything points to the Leafs. Not for me. I don't know. You tell me, buddy. You're right there.
I'm going to tell you something, Brian. What I saw, is it repeatable? It's interesting. Proceed with caution in this game. I'm probably going to bet Toronto. It's a little bit of a homer play, but I like what I saw against Pittsburgh, but you bring up some interesting points. Was this a team just going absolutely nuts because they've been called out? It could be. Can they repeat their performance? They can. Carolina's tired. Are they going to jump on these guys again? We'll get to see what kind of team the Leafs are, because if they lay egg against Carolina after that game in Pittsburgh, you'll lose a lot of respect for these guys because they played a tight game and a very, very strong game against the Penguins. I think the Leafs can. They understand that Florida's floundering. I like them. $1.39 seems a little bit rich for me. I think this line should be $1.20, but I might have to put it in parlays if it gets up too high. But I do believe they could take care of business against Carolina.
Montreal minus $1.27 at Ottawa. Instead of betting the game, I think there should be a prop. How many guys playing in this game will be traded by Monday?
3.5. Ole, 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 ole. Ole. Who cares? This game's horrible. Who do you take? Montreal, probably, but I think I'm going to pass.
San Jose and the Rangers. Rangers $1.80.
Rangers, right, buddy? Don't you think?
Yeah, but you're not laying $1.80.
No, it's parlayed. Paul Parlay. We could take the Rangers in 2-game parlays to plus money, maybe with Washington we talked about. I'll tell you something about SJ Sharkey, Brian, and they're done. I think the fork is in them, especially on the road. Like, I don't think they're going to have any motivation. Maybe when they go back to the Shark Tank, give the fans something for being loyal. But, this is another team. Are they done dealing guys? It's been a really down year for San Jose, aging superstars on that team. As for the Rangers, you're right. You know what, though? Yeah, I got to proceed with caution. No, you warned me. I can't be laying 80 cents with the Rangers. You're right. I think they win the game, but probably going to have to pass on it. And if I do, the parlays must be to plus money because I'm not laying juice.
I'm easily amused because I know this will resonate with you. I said at the beginning of the show that I'm the idea guy, and if Cam goes with Cam's Cuts for his future butcher shop.
Love Cam's Cuts.
All right, you just gave me a great idea for our show. I think we should have a musical open for the Hockey Betting Podcast. You want to hear the musical open for our show?
Ole, ole, ole.
Parlay, 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 parlay.
I love it. I love it. Do you like the bet? Parlay, parlay. I'm with you, Brian. What do we got? What's our next game on the docket?
Tampa Bay and Arizona. Good gravy.
Thank you. Good gravy.
The Tampa Bay, they are, listen, you watch Tampa Bay, these guys, 11-game winning streak, all the talent in the world. They're nasty, man. That's a dirty team.
They are dirty. I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more.
Kucherov, they're over in Sweden, took Sobotka out for the year. Then Chernak throws a flaw.
Chernak's one of the dirtiest players in the league.
So Chernak throws an elbow, takes Dahlin's head off his shoulders early in the season. The kid misses 8 games. He gets a 2-game suspension. They're playing Vegas last night. Chernak goes into the corner. He feeds Eakin an elbow that had Eakin just laid on the ice. It was a major. And, he kind of wobbled a little bit, but he got up. They gave him a 2-minute major. And then, what NHL player safety will look at it and they'll go, oh, we'll give you a $5,000 prize. What is $5,000 to these guys? These guys are nasty ass. They are dirty.
Brian, I've watched the Tampa Bay Toronto games. These guys slew foot you. They elbow you, little cheap, dirty punches. No, you're right. Tampa Bay, don't let the lightning bolt fool you here. And playing in Florida, they got a lot of nasty guys on their team. Chernak is one of the dirtiest players in the league, hence Zach Cassian kicking him, which I do not endorse. You should never kick a player. But I think a lot of guys in the league, Chernak's the next guy to get it. Like, he's a dirty, dirty player. And some guy is going to knock his block off, and I really don't care if he does. Yeah, I watched that Vegas game too. That hit on Eakin, that was so dirty. I'm with you, but let's just say this: Tampa Bay's coming off that losing streak.
They're going to kill these guys.
They're going to murder Arizona. Yes. That's their first loss against the Pacific Division.
That's right.
Vegas ended that streak. Remember, these guys were 13 or 14-0. It was ridiculous. Anyway, let's make it 14-1.
Puck line?
Tampa Bay 5, Arizona 2.
Yeah, it's got to be puck line at a plus price. I agree with you.
Correct.
Tough one here. Columbus and Nashville. Preds laying $1.75. Total on the game is 142. The bottom line is Columbus, man. Torts had been doing such a good job with these guys. They get mauled by the Flyers. You think they'd come home and you'd win the second half of that. And what happens? They got a point, but they're
falling apart.
They're falling apart. 2, 4, 6, 7 game losing streak. There's no parachute for the Blue Jacket.
I'm going to pass on this game. I'd probably look to Columbus at plus money, but we got a lot of action on a lot of these games, and you've told me this a million times, Cam. You don't need to bet on every game. Why risk it? Nashville should win, I guess, but I'm not laying 75 cents with the Predators, and who knows? Maybe Columbus digs deep. I'm going to pass. I'm not a psychiatrist, Brian. I can't read their minds, so
all right.
We're going to move on.
Yeah, you're not a psychiatrist, but let's try to read Pete DeBoer's mind here. Vegas plays Florida, and then Sunday, and I'm doing like a big hockey watch party for the game Sunday. If you're in town, come on over to Sunset Station and watch the game with us. But they play Anaheim on Sunday. So Subban is definitely playing on the weekend. My best guess is they'll want to wrap up this homestand, sweep it with Fleury at home. Subban goes Sunday. Florida is just an unmitigated disaster in their own end. Bobrovsky can't stop a basketball at the time. Vegas is creating chance after chance after chance, but you still have Huberdeau, Barkov, what's his name? Trocheck's name's on the trading block. This total's going to be 6.5. I could make a case for it being 7.
You could, and I'm still going to take the over. Vegas better be very careful in this game, even though we ripped Florida in the podcast and well deserved. But that loss to the Kings, they understand. This is big time. I expect everything to be thrown at Vegas in this game. The thing is, Florida might score 5, but they could let up 7 because of their goaltending and defense. It's awful. It's worse. You think the Leafs are bad in their own end? Watch a Panther game. They're brutal. I'd watch out for the dog here, Brian. Hate to say it. Florida plus 160. Crazier things have happened, but I think I'm just going to dance with the over.
What do you mean you hate to say it? If you can make money on it, make money on it.
Yeah, I'm going to make money on it. I don't know. The thing is, I don't like going up against Vegas. I was actually played Vegas very hard.
They're playing good.
They're playing good. I don't know when that let-up spot's going to be.
They still got to figure. They got to figure the third line out. They got to figure the third line out. But Vegas and that they're creating chances all over the place.
They are. I don't want to lay $2. I'll look at Florida, but I got to believe that. This game will have 6.5 juice to the over, and I think we can probably get 10, 11 goals in this game.
All right. This next one, you tell me, buddy, we've had success with this one specifically before. Boston laying 35 cents at Vancouver. And if memory serves, I think we've had – no, you know what it was? I think we had a team in Vancouver waiting for Vancouver to come home from Edmonton. That's what it was. But for whether, you got Boston playing Edmonton, Vancouver sitting there, drooling on themselves, waiting, and they've lost 2 in a row. You got Toffoli in there right now. I kind of like the dog. I like Vancouver.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Vancouver. We'll see what happens with Boston against Calgary. But, if Boston wins that game against Calgary, I really think Vancouver's in a good spot. They lost a heartbreaker to the Wild. We're getting 10 cents. I agree. And I think Boston's a good team, but I have a feeling they're going to lose a few games on this Pacific road trip there. It's a tough place to play when you go into Western Canada. It seems like a short price. I'm with you, Brian, but I'd like to see what they do before. A lot of the time gambling, those are our angles. And, the back-to-back angles, win one, lose the other, like a doubleheader in baseball. It's something to keep an eye on, but a lot of signs point to Vancouver, especially after that loss to Minnesota. If Boston wins against Calgary, they're going to feel great about themselves. And I'll tell you, regardless, Vancouver will be ready to play. My lean is plus 110 as well.
I think I might. Now this is pending your play on Saturday night. You like Colorado and Anaheim under the total, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? Did you not say that on Saturday night, Colorado?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did, Brian. You're listening.
Yes, I am. Yep. So I'm going to root very hard for that. And if that game comes under the total, almost regardless, I was going to say to you, if it goes under the total, then they'll probably come up on Sunday and make Colorado and LA 5.5.
Now, and then you smash
wait a minute,
the over?
It's back. I love the over to begin with, but what I'm getting at is it's back-to-back nights, and you're still waiting on Grubauer, and maybe they trade for Lundqvist, or I don't know what they do, but do they play this Hunter Miska guy on back-to-back nights? Could you be getting?
They'd have to.
Could you be getting the no-name goalie for Colorado in that back-to-back scenario, and they're going to sit there and give you a 5.5, and I think this game's a track meet.
I do too. And the thing about the Kings is, pay attention, people. This isn't the old Kings, right? They've called up guys who can really. They have a lot of good prospects on their team. Yeah, they are. Their prospects they called up versus Florida. I watched some of that game. Man, they look good. They were fast, but they know what they are. They're horrible in their own end. Colorado hasn't been scoring a lot, but you're right. Now that's going to drive down the total. I gotta believe we have very similar to the Florida Panther game, a 5-3, 5-4 type of game, Brian. I see a track meet too. Honestly, give me the over.
I think that's, for our loyal listeners, honestly, you listen to the nonsense we say here.
Yes.
But some of it makes sense.
Yeah, some of it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense.
But my point is, was going to be, when you're betting this stuff, is that you're always. I love guys that the power ranking guys. They live and die by the numbers, and they never watch.
Power rankings are for turkeys.
But I mean, every game I'm watching something. When I'm watching a game, yeah, I got a vested interest maybe in the game, or I'll watch a game I don't have a vested interest, but I'm watching the game for a reason. Yeah, I'm entertained by it, but I'm watching it to try to project something that's going to happen down the road. And I mean this, at Saturday night, I'm watching that Colorado-Anaheim game. Of all the damn games on the card, I'm going to watch it closely. And I'm going to really hope it's an under. And then Colorado and the Kings on Sunday night is going to be one of the monster plays for me of the year, if that game goes under on Saturday night. And I'll put that caveat on it.
No, I like where you're going with that. It's hey, wow, buddy, we found a lot of stuff on this card, man. Thanks. I hope it's a great weekend. It's the week's been going good so far. I want to build those units, buddy, so I can take another trip.
All right, my brother, we made it to Sunday. Let's go. A little breakfast hockey for us here in Vegas, 9 a.m. face-off. Pittsburgh, Washington.
Love it.
Oh, they don't like each other. This should be good.
It will be, Brian. When you're having your scrambled eggs and Ricola vodka at 9 o'clock in the morning, this is a great way to wake up. Probably lean Pittsburgh, but I don't have an opinion on this game. This could be interesting. This is the type of game when you have two teams like this, it could be like a 2-1 type of game where they're just killing each other, or the floodgates could open. Probably the latter is more predictable with these teams, with Pittsburgh and Washington.
I like Washington,
one, though.
And I'll tell you why. Washington, I think once they beat Jersey and Washington, I think wants to string things together again. I think Washington could go on a little heater after Ovechkin gets his 700th. I'll get one with Washington. I'm going to run with Washington.
I agree with that.
Winnipeg at Buffalo. This is a crazy one. Buffalo has good success against Winnipeg at home. I don't know why it is. It's just one of those things. They own the Sharks. I remember a game Winnipeg came into Buffalo a couple years ago, and Liney cut to the middle, and Jake McCabe took his head off his shoulders, and Buffalo smoked them. That's weird, but I think – and Buffalo – they'll make this game close to a pick. Buffalo gets no respect in the numbers. That's one of those – and Buffalo plays good at home in the day. I don't know why. I like Buffalo in the over.
I don't get it. No, but I'd be very careful, Brian. This is the way to approach Buffalo. If they get dummied by Pittsburgh, which could happen, when does this team kind of like tap out and say, you know what, we're so far back now. They look like they were going to get it back together. Then they lose that Ottawa game. That's heartbreaking.
They have tapped out.
Do you understand kind of where I'm coming from? Like, it's just be very careful with this game, because Buffalo, I know they're at home, but Winnipeg's also a desperate team, and they'll be hungry. I know Buffalo is a great team. I love betting on them in the afternoon. They make me money, but
I know, but it's trade deadline weekend, and guys, auditioning for jobs and whatever. And oh, by the way, every time it's almost like, and it's unfair because Edmonton turned into a monster, but every time, you got McDavid and Draisaitl, we thought they were going to flounder, and good on Edmonton having a great season. But every time Buffalo takes the ice, you got Eichel out there. So it's not like you're not going to have those days, and Eichel in the day and Buffalo in the afternoon plays good. I get it. I'm with you. Big picture, they'll vomit all over their sneakers. I know that. But on a Saturday afternoon, I can see them, lighting these guys up and go, oh, boy, yeah, look what we're capable of. Go home.
Yeah, that's the thing. Buffalo, very unpredictable. Every time they need to win a game, they'll let you down. But should be a good one, Brian. I'm going to leave this one alone, though.
Chicago's at Dallas. Chicago, again, kind of in that free fall mode. I do give them that puncher's chance in that home game against Nashville, see how they respond. But clearly two teams head in opposite directions.
Yeah, Dallas should be able to take care of business. I don't know, Brian. We don't have the total right now. Speculation, it'll probably be 5.5, even with Chicago, Dallas. I might go over in this game because I when they get together, these teams still don't like each other from the past. It's tough. I lean Dallas, but I know they're going to be a big favorite, so I'm going to have to pass.
Another one. I mean, this is a bizarre card, man. I mean,
it sure is. Sunday's card's whack. But I will say this. I will say this before you get into it. I can see a team that was struggling going on a heater, and the Islanders need to win these games, Brian. I think they take San Jose out to the woodshed. Yeah,
I mean, what I was going to say to you is, San Jose. They're pathetic, but there's still so much talent there. You know,
they're going to tap out. Like I watched that Jersey game, Brian. They score 1 goal against the Devils. Okay, this is what I think about when they're done. When you're done and packing it in, you save your best performances for the home crowd. This road trip, who knows what the hell they're going to do? It's like, oh, we're done. You're going to go out. Like you start to think, you know, what are we going to do? I understand that they're professionals, but the Islanders too, playing so poorly. These games are huge for them. They're seeing it slip away. I just think it's a really bad spot for San Jose. I think the Islanders, after playing horrible, horrible offensive hockey, can really get some confidence back against a team like the Sharks. I'll probably take the Islanders on the puck line, and it'll definitely be parlay.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Calgary's at Detroit, probably going to be about, 60 cents on the road. Again, we said we like that over on the Friday night game with Boston. Let's see what Calgary brings to the table. Up and down, in and out, are massive motivation for them. You know why I like them, though, Cam? And I think I'd consider it's hard to trust Calgary, but it is another angle that was been very, very successful for us. We talk about the first game home is tough, but I think teams, when they're going on a long road trip, they put so much stock in getting the trip off to a good start. And Calgary's going to Detroit, Boston, Nashville, Tampa, and Florida. You know what? They better win this game. So I think I'm doing Calgary on the puck line.
Yeah, Sunday's card is going to be tough. I'm going to do a lot of round-robin parlays, not bet so many games individually. It's a very weird and difficult card, but I'm with you. Calgary should be able to take care of business. Wouldn't be shocked if they scored a lot of goals in this game too, but yeah, for me, it's Calgary, and I'll attach them in some parlays. They're too good to piss away a game against a team like Detroit. Detroit, you feel bad. A couple guys on their team really, they battle, but the goaltending, Jimmy Howard, he's had an awful year. But you're right about Bernier. Bernier's been amazing, and they hang him out to dry a lot. So I think Calgary should be able to take care of business. If they show up even, 60, 70% in this game, I still think they win. If they show up ready to play like at 100 and are motivated, they kill Detroit.
All right, St. Louis at Minnesota. I'm telling you, Minnesota.
I got one for you here, Brian.
I got
one for you. This is my. I'm on the wild.
Yes, you are.
This is the spot. Here's the thing about the Blues. You beat Arizona 1-0. You're winning games, but this is not the same St. Louis Blues team. The Minnesota Wild actually battle. Like they beat Vancouver. It's weird. And now you're getting them against St. Louis. I think they're going to be highly motivated for this game, already acclimated to being home. Probably going to get, what do you think, 20 cents maybe? I think the Wild are in play here as a live dog.
And the other thing I would throw at you, I would envision, I think it's a perception thing, and it's unbelievable. But this is not your granddad's Wild here. You know what I mean? I think they make the total 5.5. Minnesota's a sneaky offensive team.
That's true.
I honestly, I think St. Louis. St. Louis trying to shore up their back end, got Scandella. Okay, I like the over.
What a horrible move by the Blues. Like, you think they'd know? Anyway, Scandella's just a body. They could have got some guy from the AHL, but I lean to the over as well with the home dog in Minnesota.
All right, so let's see. Let's move on. Vegas at Anaheim again, back-to-back nights. Now, it's a guess. I think it's an educated guess. My best guess would be, Fleury, by the way, you're watching the games. It's funny, the little things that can make a difference. On the homestand, you notice Fleury, he's got those fancy gold pads.
Oh, I love them. Well,
he wore them last year, and then it was like you put them on the shelf. He didn't like them. And he was going to put them up for auction. Nate Schmidt was bugging him. You put the gold pads back on. Well, he hasn't lost since he put them on. So
It's awesome. The best move Fleury last night was when the guy was in the crease and Fleury grabbed his legs. Right? I was laughing.
Tackled him.
The best was when he got that penalty. I know. I was like, God, I love it. Like, you want to see your goaltender do that type of stuff. You know he's in the game. Guy in Tampa Bay's getting in his grill. He just jumped on him and grabbed his legs.
All right. So, but here's what's going to happen here. I guess the best guess is Vegas will be $1.75 maybe.
It's like a 65.
It'll come down. Well, you know why it will be? Maybe even be 50. It'll come down because it's got to be. You would think Subban playing, and the thing is, Subban,
correct.
He's I think the kid has his moments when he plays with regularity. He shows.
Yeah, he's cool.
But
now.
when he comes off the shelf every 6-7 games, it's a crapshoot. I think it's a sneaky over.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's very dangerous too. Thing about Vegas is they've been great at home. This is a game that they can totally sleepwalk through. I think it's very dangerous if you're playing a side. But I'm with you, Brian. If Subban plays, that's the thing. He doesn't play enough because Fleury's on a heater. So I would lean to the over as well.
And maybe we got a really, 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 really good one. Let me just confirm something here. Okay, wrap it up with Edmonton at L.A. on Sunday. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm right. Edmonton plays Minnesota Friday night. So Edmonton will be sitting in Los Angeles on Saturday night, have a team dinner, couple of beers, and they're going to watch the Kings play Colorado and then turn around and play them Sunday night. Big advantage, Edmonton.
Love Edmonton. Probably my favorite game on the card. One of them for sure. I'm gonna smash Edmonton, and it will definitely be parlayed as well. You're right. They're in a very good position, playing good hockey. They're going to take care of business against the Kings as well. Give me Edmonton.
All right, brother. We wrap it up now. Monday, Ottawa's at Columbus. I don't know what this league is doing. It's the trade deadline. There should be no games on this day. Cam, if you've got some Kreskin-ish, Nostradamus-like vision to the future and can make a play in this game, you're a better man than me, because there could be 5 or 6 guys for these two teams, Ottawa and Columbus, who could get traded that morning. We can't tell you nothing. That's why we're coming back Tuesday after the trade deadline, and we'll run from there. But what do we do here? I mean, Ottawa, Pajot could go. Columbus is in free fall. Who knows what happens Monday morning at the deadline?
I might not be a better man than you, Brian, but if I were to play the game, I'd play Ottawa. Columbus is one of those teams, but you said it, like 5-6 guys combined on both of these teams. Columbus could be a seller. Ottawa is definitely a seller. I'm not going to play it, but Ottawa is one of those teams. They're pretty tricky at home. Remember when they beat Dallas? I know they lost to Winnipeg, but they were leading in that game, and then they fell apart. But Columbus is no guarantee. I'd probably lean Ottawa, but we're not going to play it. You're right. Too many question marks.
All right, man. It's the weekend. Let's celebrate something here. Again, the trade deadline Monday is going to be great, and then we'll really know what we're dealing with moving forward. And I think post-trade deadline, there are going to be a lot of great wagering opportunities. We'll have them for you on the Hockey Betting Podcast. But I think we should sing our way out of here, Cam, heading into a week. Parlay.
Yeah, by the way, programming note, we're back Tuesday because of the hockey trade deadline. Producer Michael like that. See, I'm not asleep.
Yeah, you are. I just said it 28 seconds ago. You were just kissing Mike's ass. Have a great weekend, everybody. Hey, folks, this is Brian Blessing. Hope you're enjoying the Hockey Betting Podcast. We have a couple chuckles, try to get you a lot of winners. Hey, we hope you like what you're hearing. And if you do, hit the subscribe button and give us a review, give us a rating. Most importantly, enjoy the hockey and keep coming back to the Hockey Betting Podcast.
The handicapping and sports odds information contained on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm the wagering regulations in your jurisdiction, as they vary from state to state, province to province, and country to country. Using this information to contravene any law or statute is prohibited. The podcast is not associated with, nor is it endorsed by any professional or collegiate league, association, or team. This podcast does not target and is not intended for an audience under the age of 18. If you think that you have a gambling addiction, stop this podcast now and please seek help.
Gambling and betting on sports is a form of entertainment and should be about having a good time. But when done excessively, it may negatively affect other areas of a person's life, such as their physical and mental health, school or work performance, finances, and or interpersonal relationships. At betchriscanada.net and the Hockey Betting Podcast, we're concerned about the addiction that gambling may cause, and for this reason, we encourage everyone to practice responsible gambling, an approach to gambling that helps you ensure that it remains an enjoyable activity. Here are the main principles of responsible gambling. Don't think of gambling as a way to make money. Always gamble with money that you can afford to lose. Set limits and stick to them. Never chase losses. Don't gamble when you're depressed or upset, and create a healthy balance. Always be aware of how much time you spend gambling or thinking about gambling, and do not allow gambling to cause you to miss out on time with family and friends or time spent on other activities you enjoy. By following these guidelines, gambling can be a good time and great entertainment. If you feel at any time that your gambling is taking away from important areas of your life, is causing you stress or depression, or is leading to financial losses that are beyond your control, please reach out for help. Learn more at responsiblegambling.org.